Freya, we should probably talk about Gná.
We don't need to talk about her. We just need to find her.
But Odin chose her as his new Valkyrie queen. A Vanir goddess, your friend.
Gná pledged loyalty to Asgard long ago, and our friendship ended soon after.
What happened?
I made a choice. One she couldn't accept. Kratos. She hates me. She will be a problem for us. Better we find her than she finds us.
And another one for the big boy himself. Skull!
Skull!
Hold a few dozen per camp. Families will stay together, obviously.
Take care, Kratos.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we'll bring all the supplies we can, although there won't be much.
Don't worry about it. Anyone who's able can head out for extra supplies. Aesir and Vanir.
Together.
Where to first?
We could take care of any lingering business in the realms.
Or investigate those pieces of Asgard.
Either way, we're with you, brother. Lunda also mentioned there's going to be a get-together to honor Brock's memory at Rab's Tavern in Svartalfheim. I'd like to go.
Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Hraesvelgr.
Not now.
Mimir, now that we have a moment, can I ask you about your mission to Helheim with Hildisvini?
Hold! What is that? Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down. In death, or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantics, you see. Mimir, now that we have a moment, can I ask you about your mission to Helheim with Hildisvini?
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Enough. We will continue later. Maria, what exactly
did you promise the large bird in Helheim?
Oh, nothing too horrifying.
Hold. We will finish later.
Looks to be a sculpture from the southern lands.
Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it tickled?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
You'll need to get around that shield!
A rider healed his mouth!
Behind you, brother!
On your guard, Kratos!
Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out. You said you and Thor caused that?
Yes.
What's more than that? Your axe and Thor's hammer clashing leaves impressive destruction. Look, another coal raider camp. We should do something about them and put your wolves at ease.
Left side, incoming!
Kratos! Their chieftain!
The Alpha!
chieftain. Was he the one who captured the wolves before you freed them?
I do not know.
Regardless, they should draw some comfort from his death.
Freya, you once revived a giant's corpse to stop a certain fight we won't talk about. Could you call on that power again?
Maybe. Do you have a massive giant's corpse for me to revive?
No?
Well, there you...
They're still scared.
Not of the raiders. Do not be afraid. You are safe. Good. Good boys.
Girls.
Good girls.
Oh, lady, I was curious about some of the flora we've encountered on our travels.
And you will remain curious. It's not my job to teach you everything, Mimir.
Look, I was just asking.
And you have been told.
Oh, you can say that again. Am I hearing voices again?
Someone's out here.
As I was saying before about Hlasvelka, it's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hell's Eagle wants to retire?
Let this wait. Stay alert. Freya, you spoke of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin, disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freyr had ever seen.
This separated Freyr from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freyr ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little fool. Were you serious before, Mimir? Hrasfellgr truly wishes to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be hell?
Apparently so. She just requires relief. Someone else to step in and become hell, as it were.
Not exactly an office many would wish. To occupy.
Aye. Terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless.
Set that aside for now. Come.
What a beautiful dagger.
Impractical.
Ceremonial. Well, that's all the lost artifacts from Tyr's temple. Fancy a... Is it to a certain dwarven shopkeeper?
So, how worried should we be, Mimir, about the Hrasfellgr situation?
Oh, it'll be trouble for all of us if the position is filled by someone unfit. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked. Strange. There are still signs of the world serpent all over the lake. But we saw him disappear at Ragnarok.
That can only mean the legend was true all along. That blow from Thor sent Jormungandr straight back in time. A younger Jormi, fresh from Jotunheim, would grow into the serpent we know.
When we first met the snake, you said that he found Atreus familiar. Perhaps they
Later,
met
brother.
Jotun.
Hostilities demand our focus. Oh, right flank! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
I don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
I must say, I think we make a good team. With my brains, Kratos' brawn, and my lady's,
Wisdom? Magic? Ability to tolerate you for long periods of time?
I was going to say brutality.
That works.
Where? You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions.
Ah, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly.
No more for now. Focus.
When Jormungandr attacked Thor in Asgard, it seemed personal somehow. But there's no way they could have met before that, is there?
I've been pondering that, and I have a theory. We know the lad spent his time in Jotunheim learning soul magic. Perhaps the serpent figured in.
You mean Atreus placed some other giant soul into him? Someone who already hated Thor to begin with?
Exactly! Though that doesn't narrow it down much, I grant you. I wonder if Yorm even remembers after all this time who he once was. That's some of Kvasir's poetry.
I look forward to exploring Alfheim and not having to fight elves.
Oh? What makes you think that's an option?
They've united, haven't they? What possible reason would they have to attack us?
Sorry to say, but there are still plenty of elves out in the Barrens eager for conflict.
But why? Freyr united them. They fought together at Ragnarok.
For those who have spent their lives in combat, peace is not always an option.
Kratos, tell me of an adversary from your homeland. It will serve us well if I understand more of your battle tactics.
There was Medusa, queen of the Gorgons. Her gaze turned men to stone. A mirror would turn her own powers against her. Or, you may remove her head, but that is the hard way.
Which did you choose?
The hard way.
Forget I asked.
What's your right? Come above! My God! I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of us. Who knows what became of it?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere. Circling back to the topic of prophecies brought about by the efforts to avoid them, I think I can recall such a story as you mentioned, brother. A Greek tale for the stage. Rather lurid, but very popular. You know the one?
Every Greek knows the tragedy of the Theban king.
Yeah, word gets around about that sort of thing. Wait a bloody moment. Is that...
Thor's hammer. And his daughter.
I'll make you proud, Dad.
Well, good for her. Back to my story. The Enlightenment-seeking Laird and his followers swore off women and drink for an entire summer. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the Laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. She pleads for their assistance for fear the currents would carry her off if she tried to cross. The Laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to it. Dumbfounded! Can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the Laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder.
Enough talk for now. Be ready.
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed. Do you regret it, Mimir?
Most likely. What are we talking about in particular?
Giving up... body?
Do I regret exchanging my life for my freedom? That's a question I ask myself every day, my lady.
What about today?
Today? Glad to be out in the world. How else could I spend such quality time with you?
Okay, okay.
I might finish my story from before. The Laird had abruptly broken his oath by carrying the maiden across the river, and his brother spent the afternoon biting his tongue in confusion and simmering outrage. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed?"
Another time. We must focus. What is wrong?
No, nothing. It's just, don't know if you've heard, but we're gonna say goodbye to Brock in Svartalfheim.
A funeral?
Yeah. We're meeting at Rab's Tavern in Nethervalir.
We will be there.
Ragnarok armor's on the house. We'll call it a commemorative piece. Rip, headed your way, fast!
Profane alternate lyrics to my ballads. Absolutely disgusting. But now I wish I could remember some of them.
The paperwork that man created for me. I had to build a chest just for his violations. A big one.
I taught him 20 different ways to cold forge a bolster. Once, he taught me a slightly easier method of wire pulling, and from that day on called me his apprentice.
A true arsehole he was. Gods, I'm gonna miss him.
Hi! Y'all made it. Just about to send him off.
I have met many on my travels. You are one of the few I would call friend.
I always thought you were one of the dumbest creatures I'd ever met. Didn't expect you to be the bravest, too.
This world is a darker place for your leaving it.
We're taking him to the Sphaired Sands. It's, in the wetlands near the ferry. We'll wait for you there.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Behind you! Incoming Bifrost!
From behind!
Enemies to your left!
Careful, brother! Covered in Bifrost!
Got him! The Alpha! Bifrost above you! I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us.
What is wrong?
I should have changed. Sewn some mourning garb. We're not dressed properly.
We're fine. The dwarves don't typically require formal wear at funerals.
Brock certainly would not.
Perhaps.
Still, now you've got me thinking of what I might look like with some jewellery around my neck stump. Maybe some gold woven into my beard. That'd be quite fetching, eh?
Thanks for trying.
There they are, brother.
Oh, come on, surely he'll be along. It's his brother.
Let's hope so. Loss can do things to a man. You made it. We can begin.
love you, Brooke.
Sindri. Brock was...
A hole.
What?
Gets bigger the more you take away.
Mummy. What did you do?
What I thought was right. Or at least, what I thought was clever. Something else I recall about that Greek play I mentioned, if you won't take offence to the critique. As a work of performance, it consisted almost entirely of watching people give speeches and receive terrible news. Might have been nice to see more events dramatized instead of described.
It is Greek tradition for a story to unfold in a single time and place uninterrupted. It is more clear.
If you say so.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Right, you brother.
Can't do this without you, Kratos!
Shield strike, now!
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing. Brother, you don't like riddles, eh?
No.
Oh, you just haven't heard any good ones. Here, I'm tall when I'm young, short when I'm old. What
A candle.
Yeah. Heard that one before?
No.
Oh. Well, did you like it?
No. Thank you.
Finishing my story from before. The laird had broken his oath by carrying the maiden across the river, and his brother quietly stewed until he could contain himself no more. How could you do it, brother? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony? The laird just smiles. Brother, I set that lass down across the river. 'Tis you that carries her still. Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed. Brother, somewhere out there's a riddle you'd enjoy, and I'm going to find it.
Do not.
Once spoken, instantly broken. What am I?
Silence.
Correct!
I was not
Better
answering.
pause there. The key to that watchtower door should be on this island somewhere.
Behind you, brother!
Alka! They're coming from the net! Enemies to your left!
Looks like you could break through the ground down here. Can't break through the ground from here. We need to get up higher. Maybe if you found a way into that lift. Seems you've got the height you need to smash through the ground.
Left flank!
Take a look at this, Mimir.
That's the key we're looking for. Now we must head to that watchtower on the shore.
What are you not saying?
The mining rigs are not the only sin I committed in Svartalfheim.
What exactly are we doing, Mimir?
Fixing a mistake. Just put the key into that lock, brother. There. If you could give that drum a good loud strike.
Mimir, explain.
I hoped it would have escaped by now, but we'll need to free it from its restraints. There, fancy a riddle.
If you fancy a boot to the head.
Riddle solved.
What is this?
A Lungbocker. I captured it many years ago.
For Odin.
Yes. I thought it an imaginative and eye-catching way to earn his favor.
It worked?
That it did.
This creature, you enslaved it.
Aye.
The Allfather put you up to this?
No. This was my brilliance at work.
I'm surprised. Chaining up the innocent is a favored pastime of Odin's.
The irony is not lost on me. right. You chained the fins too. If you could... Easy. Easy.
At least the creature is still alive.
I'm sure it spent countless winters wishing it wasn't. But we're going to free it. And then...
And then it will still wish for death.
Now for the other fin. There may be a way to reach it behind that collapsed debris. You're angry with me, aren't you, brother?
I remember the feeling of a yoke around my neck. I would not wish it upon another.
Good thing you learned the runes, brother. Well, shame that's the last of Kvasir's poems.
Why not write your own?
Been a while since I dipped my quill into the ink pot of poetry, but maybe it's time to try again.
Left
Why enslave the creature?
Its fat was a good source of oil for Odin's lanterns.
Oil? For lanterns?
Whatever anger you're feeling, whatever loathing toward me, it's nothing to what I've said to myself. If you could.
I know.
Just the tail left now.
A wretchness! Focus up! The Alpha! The wretch nest was hiding some device. Perhaps that's how we reach this creature's tail. Let's return to the boat.
You never spoke of this creature.
Does that surprise you? That an old man would be ashamed of the mistakes he's made?
No.
I'd hoped the creature would be long expired by now. But apparently the Aesir couldn't even be bothered to mercy kill it once it was no longer useful.
We could kill it.
No. Not when we can save it. Good. We can reach the tail from this dock.
You would still save this broken creature.
I know what it is to be imprisoned like this. I can't just leave it.
And if it is beyond saving,
I don't understand.
let us continue.
Another nightmare! To the left! Watch your left!
Behind you! Watch out!
This is the last.
Tail must be chained as well. Sliding down that rope should take us where we need to go.
We should climb up and use the rope to slide down. It's the only way to reach the tail. Kratos, I see something.
There! You're free! What's going on? Maybe needs a little encouragement. Can you get me closer to its eye for a face-to-face, brother? Looks like a rune slate. Best get your chisel out.
Now, the word. Mecking. Success. The gate is lowering out there. You're punishing yourself, aren't you, Mimir? For exploiting the laborers. For the Lungbacher.
Of course. Who else is going to?
I'd consider Odin chaining you to a tree for hundreds of years a sort of penance.
We'll agree to disagree. Just curious, brother. Why don't you like riddles?
They are frivolous.
They encourage lateral thinking. Listen, there are 3 doors before you. One contains a pit of spikes.
Enough. We will continue later.
Go on, you great blubbering beast. Shoo! It's not moving. Why is it not moving?
It has grown accustomed to its chains.
But... No. No, we can fix this. We just need to chase it off. Scare it. Something.
There is no making things right. Only better than they were.
At least it can feel the wind on its face.
May provide some comfort.
That's not enough.
It seldom is.
Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland, but I'd also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts.
Not now.
Scout.
Incoming Bifrost! Up above!
Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
Enemies on the left! Valhall till Tordar! Valhall till Tordar! Valhall till Tordar! From behind! Incoming! From behind! Incoming! Alka! Nothing!
It seems for every camp we destroy, we find 2 more.
It's almost impressive.